and it's gonna go pretty quick. Okay, we're live.
Hello,
We are live.
George Englert here. I'm happy to be joining you
Hello.
with Johanna Martinez for what's to come. So, Johanna, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm super excited. We're doing week 4. So this is our 10-week series for anyone who hasn't joined us before on boosting your cognitive ability, right? So this is a series for you to learn 10 keys for boosting your brain and really ridiculously easy ways you can implement these keys into your everyday life. And we know that a lot of people are feeling overwhelmed, and that's a big blocker for doing anything, even simple things. So we've really put an effort to keeping all of these keys and the implementation tips really, really clear, simple, and actionable, so that it doesn't matter if you're overwhelmed, tired, or super stressed when you start. You can still join us and take some small action toward boosting your brain, right? So if reducing overwhelm and boosting your brain, if it sounds good to you, then stick around. We're going to be here for about maybe 10 minutes tonight.
Awesome. Thank you, Johanna. So, yeah, we would like to invite you all to get really clear on what's in it for you personally, to boost your own brain power. Like right now, for me, I realize it would be very helpful to sharpen this noodle because it helps me focus while doing this series right here. And we have some technical procedures like earpieces that want to fall out, and we got to deal with that, and then bring content to the table. Like I have to do that without losing my train of thought, and that's kind of easy for me sometimes. So what's of importance for you this week, Johanna?
Oh, wow. I think this week's topic, stress management, is super, super relevant for me right now. So moving and just managing that is feeling super relevant this week. So yeah, I'm excited.
Good stuff. Yeah, we just did a move not too long ago ourselves, and yeah, some brain boost would have been a big help. Yeah, good stuff. And okay. Oh my God, I can't think straight. I think I'm going out of my mind. I feel like I'm going 1,000 different directions. If you relate to any of this, stay with us, because we would like to help you better manage your stress, which in turn, guess what, is good for your brain. During dangerous or taxing situations, stressful situations, the amygdala, the part of your brain that governs survival instincts, may take over, leaving the parts of your brain that store memory, that perform higher order tasks, less energy to work effectively. So how might we effectively manage some of this stress, Johanna?
Well, ideally, we would have a holistic strategy for managing stress in all the areas of our life, right? And practices in place that allow us to manage that holistically, preventive care and all that. But today, I thought I'd share a really simple technique, going back to the basics of something you and I actually learned in one of our first health coaching trainings that we did together. If you remember from Become a Health Coach training, one of the elementary strategies or very basic strategies that's very powerful, even though it's a very simple technique, is managing your breath, right? And so today we're not going to go into the different breathing techniques in detail. And the invitation is simply, if you haven't studied about different breathing techniques, I'm going to share a simple tip that you can utilize today without, remembering, anything complex or getting overwhelmed with, some of the more technical things around it. So managing your breath, that is a really quick, simple way you can trick your body into eliciting the relaxation response, right? So if you're feeling really stressed, the really powerful way for you to manage that, or like to calm it in the moment is to start calming down your breath. And the trick there that I'm sharing with you here today is simply holding your breath for a moment while you do some heavy, deep breathing, right? So normally when we, feeling stressed and we think about, okay, everybody says, just breathe deep, the normal thing would be to do is simply, breathe in deep and then let the breath out. But the trick is with, most of these breathing techniques is that you hold the breath for a moment, right? So for example, if we look at the 4x4 breathing technique, it's simple. You just, breathe in through the nose, you count till 4, and then you hold the breath till the count of 4. So you slowly count to 4, and then you exhale for 4 seconds, right? So the trick in really all of these breathing techniques is simply that you hold the breath for a while. And the cool thing is that this is what the body naturally does when we're sleeping, right? So you can trick your body to thinking that you're sleeping by using this very simple technique. And I think it's super cool. And I so needed to be reminded of this today myself. So I'm curious, George, do you use this breathing technique often?
I'm using it right now as you're talking about it.
Yeah. Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and I love that. Just the way that you're talking about it brings that sense of just like there's a sense of as we focus on this a little bit, a focus of being present. And I think that's what happens to a lot of us when we're dealing with stress. We're really not being present. We're worried about the future. We're regretting the past. And this kind of just centers us in the moment. And I appreciate that. And, some other little things are just getting some rest and having a creative outlet is often a good stress reliever for us. And again, you mentioned a few times, and we've been using this word management. It's not like we're not sitting here. We're not trying to get rid of stress. That would be very stressful. That's, it's kind of like when you say manage your breath and hold your breath for a while, you might as well like stop breathing. That would be pretty stressful. We're going to breathe, we're going to have stress, but we can manage our breath and we can manage stress. And so rather than strive for no stress, strive for a healthier responses to stress. And, maybe try something like, don't stress your stress, and how might I do that? Let go of the thought of I am stressed, and instead substitute something like I am experiencing stress. And this simple rewording allows you to be a bit more of a witness to the stress as opposed to being its victim.
Yeah.
And you will immediately de-stress and gain clarity as a result of the fog that's lifted. And so please let us know in the comments.
Love that so much. You're freezing for a little bit. Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so let us know in if you have any strategies that have worked for you, we'd love to hear about them. And things that take the edge off of that stress for you. Yes, Johanna, could you tell us about next week, or if you had something else to add? I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, I just love that so much that what you just shared about the amygdala and the stress response in our bodies, and it kind of reminds me of what we talked about last week, that our brains are in some ways a lot of the operations are kind of outdated for what we need in today, right, in this modern world that we live in, right? So I think that was just super cool, just recognizing what we're working with here, some of the limitations of when our brain was developed, and then the cool techniques that you can kind of use to bring yourself to a more elevated place, right? Next week we're going to be talking about social connection and the importance of that for your cognitive abilities. And I think it's a super relevant topic for most of us, because with social distancing and stuff like that. So I'm super
Little
excited
bit more of an effort
for
has
getting
to
to
go
talk
in
about
there,
that
right?
next week. So yeah, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, we're at 11 minutes. So yeah.
Terrific. Thank you all.
Okay. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. And yeah, leave us some comments. What are some of your favorite stress busting methods that you like? All right. See you next week. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.